pumped about our basketball team. Well, I mean, it's like 10 o'clock Friday night. Holy cow! But I mean, really cool. You know, I know I'd like for them to be closer, but to get to go to San Diego, that'll be a great experience for them. And just really proud of Brad and you know, to see what they've done this year, especially losing Dante. You know, you lose your best player, and yet you still win. I don't know, what they win, 23, 24 games or something like that. I mean, it's just awesome, awesome year. And you know, to finish fourth or whatever they finished in the conference is a huge accomplishment for them. So hopefully they can get a little lady mo going their way and see if we can hang around for a little while.
A lot of visitors today. Looks like Oklahoma State. A lot of coaches in.
Yep. I had Boise State was here last week. Really enjoyed visiting with Coach Harsin. You know, just a friendship I've developed over the last couple of years. And Neil Brown and Troy was here today. And then the Oklahoma State offensive staff's here. So yeah, we've had a lot of people coming through. A lot of high school coaches. That's one of the fun things about this year is you know, usually you get an opportunity to speak with a lot of people and study. You know, that's the cool thing I think about our profession and the coaching profession is, you know, we're all competitors, we all compete, you know, but very seldom do you see Coke sit down with Pepsi in the off season, you know, or McDonald's sit down with Wendy's and go, well, how was your year? Let's talk about it, you know. But in the coaching profession, you have a lot of that camaraderie, and so it's good, you know, because we're trying to get better. We're trying to get better, and so appreciate those guys coming. And I just always tell people, if you're coming, you can't just withdraw. You got to deposit too. So we try to learn as much as we can from all these coaches that come through here, the high school coaches, the college coaches. We've got our clinic coming up here in a couple weeks. Coach Peterson from the Eagles is going to come and be our speaker. Excited about that. But it's been good, man. I tell you, we just had day 7, and so our first scrimmage is Wednesday, and so the first half of spring has really been a lot of installation, a lot of what to do, and a lot of how to do it. Now we got to go kind of see where they are and see who can really put it together, and see how many consistent, dependable guys we can find and develop. But it's been a lot of fun. This is probably the fastest first half of spring I've been around. It just, for whatever reason, it just seems like it's flying by. But we're having a lot of fun. The guys are competing, and maybe that's part of it. It's just so competitive every single day on the practice field. The practices go fast. There's just no lulls. But it's been good. I think the spirit of the team is you know, beyond what you would even hope it to be. And guys are pushing each other. This team likes each other. They compete, but they like each other. And you know, hopefully we can continue to stay healthy. We've been pretty fortunate there this first half, but you know, sooner or later you got to go play, and so that's kind of what Wednesday's about. Is, you know, we've tried to cover all the situations in the first 7 days, so get everybody off the field and let them go play. Some of these guys in the stadium for the first time in a scrimmage setting. I'm anxious to see how that goes, but so far so good.
Coach, when we talked to you last Wednesday, you're looking for a little more consistency out of the wide receivers, guys like T and DeAndre. Have you seen that in the last couple of practices?
Yeah, you know, I think again that's one of the reasons we've been a good team, a consistent team, is because it's hard on our practice field, and when you don't quite have your motor running like you should, you have some days like we had that day. But it's been good to see some of these guys respond. I mean, because it's hard work out there. I mean, those DBs and those wideouts you're talking about elite athletes that are grinding each other up every single day, but they're getting better. They're getting better. They don't really have a choice, and so I've been really pleased with all those guys.
Those guys starting to maybe push Kelly a little bit, or is he still light years ahead of them?
Oh, they're all doing well. I mean, they all got good days. They all got great plays. They all got some plays they'd like to have back. But you know, we're got a competitive bunch, and all 4 of them are fighting and scratching and clawing every day to be the guy, and that's what I love. So you know, Kelly's been really good. But those other guys are catching on and competing hard.
secondary? You starting to see some guys maybe step to the front a little bit?
Well, I tell you, those first three corners are really good. Trayvon and AJ and Mark, all three of those guys are just kind of another level right now. And Anthony's coming along. Feel really good about our safeties right now. I'm very pleased with. Kayvon has had a great spring. Tanner has played well, made big plays in the past, but he's working on some areas in his game where he needs to improve. Just discipline and being consistent with his eyes. But I tell you, the two guys I'm really excited about is Nolan Turner and Denzel. Those two guys they've taken a huge step forward, and so I'm very pleased with those four guys. And then Isaiah is still working some safety, but he's settling in right there at that nickel Sam and doing a great job picking that up.
You've been really optimistic about Jordan Williams making that transition, defensive tackle. Talked to Christian last week. He said he was going to be in his grill all season long. How invaluable is it to have someone like that and Dexter Lawrence to be able to kind of take this guy under their wing?
I mean, we're just very fortunate. And some years are different than other years. Sometimes you're just inexperienced and you're just coaching on the run, and you're talented guys, and you just know they're going to go. You got to go through a process with them, but to have. We got several guys that could probably be starting on some years here, but they've got these veteran guys, and it's just, man, they're pushing them. But what I love is those young guys are pushing those veterans too, because they just got this unbelievable amount of energy. Xavier and KJ. I mean, they're relentless, and it's fun because I think they are talented enough to push those older guys. Not that they need to be pushed. They're just because they're self-motivated guys and they bring it every day. But it's just a lot of fun. And then same thing inside to see, Dexter, who's not doing any of the live work, but he's coaching every play. And to see Christian, I mean, Christian loves that. Christian loves to. Well, he likes to teach, as y'all know. So he loves that part. Taking those young guys under his wing and challenging them, and he stays after practice. We got a good group. Jordan is had a great spring, and Niles Pinckney is really come on. He's a redshirt sophomore. This is really love what I see out of him right now. His body language, his focus. Josh Belk is going to be a great player. Goodness gracious, he's got all the tools, but. Sometimes you forget he's 18. He's just a young man in a grown man's body right now, who's dealing with Huggins and Niles and Dexter and Christian, guys that have been around here, and he's just thrown right in that bunch. But he's going to be really good. So it's a good group. They're all doing a great job.
What are you seeing out of your two guard spots?
We've been cross-training guys, mixing and matching. I mean, we've moved guys around. We even had John out at left tackle today a little bit, just bouncing people all around. This is the time of year to do that stuff. But that's one of the things I love about Robbie is he cross-trains them. Gage is working a lot of guard. Really pleased with Pollard and John, that first group. Those two guys have done a nice job. It took him a couple days, I think, to settle in because he really hadn't worked much guard. Young guy, we were just trying to get him good at a spot, and we were in pretty good shape at guard his first couple years. But this year, I was kind of, trying to get the best five, and so it took him. It's just different. It's different in there, and he's really done a nice job. But I'm pleased with Gage. Cade Stewart is going to be a good player. I mean, he's having a really good spring. Bycourse is mixing in there. We're working Carmen at left tackle right now, and we're going to probably mix him in there a little bit at guard too. But it's a good group. They're all doing fine. I mean, they're all getting a ton of reps. That's the other thing I'm very pleased with their spring is the amount of reps we're getting. Our tempo has been outstanding.
Simmons, what are the challenges, I guess, of learning that?
It just alignments, you know, his eyes. I mean, there's a lot to it. It's not like, I mean, there's a lot to the safety position too. But when you're down in the box, I mean, the run fits. You do a lot of pressures from that position, and then coverage. I mean, you got to be able to cover if you're going to be an every down type player. Because you don't want to always, you know, have to protect them with somebody over the top. You want to be able to disguise your looks and pressures, and so from time to time you got to be able to lock up and cover. That's what made Dorian so unique, because he could do that. And then here he comes off the edge, and you know, he's a great run fitter. You know, when they did try to run at his side, but you know, just alignments, recognition. But he's doing a really good job. I mean, he's doing a great job. Jalen's been awesome. He's had a great spring. He's savvy, understands. I mean, he doesn't have some of the measurables that Isaiah has, but he's a very productive player. And you know, I mean, you know, he's definitely a guy that'll be a factor there. But Isaiah he's just different. You know, he brings great athleticism and length, and but yet he's still got that physicality that you like to have at that spot. So just things happen faster than when you're back there, you know, on the back end.
Definitely on the defensive side of the ball, a couple of defensive ends that have been mentioned: Richard Yeargin and Xavier Kell.
Yeah, Richard's out there every day. He's just, you know, he's like Dexter. He's just doing team separate and all the individual, doing good. But you know, they're just not cleared him to do full live work yet. So he's not doing any competitive work, but he's doing good, and he's sharp. I'll be excited.